Honey, what's going on?
Well, we came home to a giant leak in our lower level living room.
It's kind of wet down here. It's midnight.
It's midnight. We just got home from an event at church to find our sink is leaking above this room. This is our brand new carpet.
Brand new carpet, sink's leaking.
Yay.
As soon as we moved into this house, I noticed that it looked like they had some leaks down here in the past. And they had replaced the paneling or whatever the bottom of this cabinet with cardboard. So for some reason, there's just been a cluster of pipes, new valves, all kinds of different fittings, connectors, old taps that are not being used anymore, other plastic taps that are added onto that, more valves. So this all needs to get fixed, but the leak was actually coming from underneath the sink. It was coming from this, there's a plastic fitting on here that was cracked. So it was just leaking down through here and down along these pipes and into the ceiling. All right, well, we have gotten things cleaned up in here a little bit, and we've got a lot of work to do down here, but we'll save the whole renovation of all this plumbing for another day. I need to redo all this and cut out all the extra stuff. But today we're just gonna get the main problem fixed, which basically was that little plastic fitting right there. As you pull up and down this detachable faucet head or whatever, that little fitting was hitting in there, and it eventually broke and started leaking. So there's really no way to fix it other than to get a new faucet. So we're gonna take this the whole old deal out here. We're gonna take the old faucet out, and I just ran up to Home Depot and grabbed a new one. So we're gonna try a Delta. Usually like Delta stuff. Sometimes I prefer the Kohler stuff, but we'll see how this works out. This is a touch on and off, and it's got a nicer spray head on it and stuff, so it's a little bit nicer faucet. One of the main things I looked at was how the tubing was all configured, and so it looks like it's a little bit higher quality tubing, and the connections are a little bit better. Most of the connections are actually up inside here, and so there's hopefully that same problem won't happen again. So this is a 4-hole sink. It actually has a hole here, 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 and here. This one will stay. This is our water purifier we actually have installed underneath, and this thing has been amazing also for our purified or filtered water. So we'll just take this old one out, and then the new one should come with a bracket that'll cover just like this. Get some of this cleaned up and see how it works. Assuming that there's going to be more water leaking, get a towel in here to soak some of that up. Well, this is the fitting that failed, and I can't really see why it failed. It looks like the O-rings are still good, but it would not seal no matter what I did. So it doesn't look like it was dirty or anything. I'm not sure why. Not sure why it failed, but these plastic fittings are not that great. So it's possible that something got pulled loose inside of here. This part of it may have started leaking, but the water was coming out of the actual connection right here. So just enough to, over about 6 hours, make a huge mess. Oh well, to the trash. All right, the next step is mounting this isolation bracket. Basically what this does is isolates the metal tubing of the sink or the faucet from the sink itself. So that's the touch operation has to work. It's grounded in some certain way. So this bracket's going to go in there, and then this nut, and then they give you like a special wrench to feed over all the tubes and tighten the nut down up there, which is nice. The thing is, this nut is so far up, the sink wall is right here, and there's no way to really get a wrench on it, and so it's nice that they include this. I've actually installed some faucets where this is not included. It's very hard to tighten that nut. So let's get in here and get this done. So here's the bracket, the isolator that we're putting on, and then we're putting the nut that's just tightening everything down, and then these screw in, it looks like, to just tighten the metal to make sure there's metal to metal contact from the sink. So this actually comes with 2 check valves. So these valves have a ferrule and a little piece that goes on here. So hot and cold both get these, and then we're just going to hook our water connections up to here. They're marked with a color. So this one blue is the cold, and then the other one is marked with red, which is the hot. So we're just going to get those tightened on here. Got a couple more connections to make, and we'll get our water turned on, make sure there's no leaks. So next we have to install the little controller, and it actually attaches up to that fitting right there, and then it has this latch that holds the weight off of it, and then it kind of hangs there, it looks like, and then we attach the bottom part of the hose here. This has a battery pack, takes 6 AA batteries, and the battery pack can just sit down here under the counter. I also think that they do have a power supply option for this that I might see, because I have an outlet down here that I could fix up and possibly use. But one of the nice things about this is these connections, the only 2 connections that are under here have these clips. So they actually hold that connection firm, so nothing can pull it or flex it or anything like that. These plastic clips hold these two pieces securely together. So hopefully that'll help prevent any issues of leaks. This thing actually, it does look like it has a power port on here, so I can probably get a power supply for it. And it also has a network connection. That's interesting. Wonder if you can update the firmware on it or something. So I'll have to look into that. So when we do renovate all this, we'll get rid of these gate valves, and we'll put in some ball valves. Gate valves are great, but what happens over time is there's a seal in here, right at this shaft, and many times this is where these are going to leak. So over time they get corroded, they get the rubber seals in there get old, and they'll start to drip right underneath there. But this one seems to be pretty good. These old valves are probably better quality than the ones we get now, but we'll cut all this copper out in the future down to here, and we'll redo this whole thing so that we can redo this floor. The bottom of this cabinet, I can't even really floor it over because they put the valve right at the level of the cabinet. So we'll have to redo this whole thing, redo all the plumbing here. It looks like we need a new disposal here. This one's looks like it's had a leak here that kind of corroded itself shut, but these valves here don't even work. I think this one's completely broken. I'm surprised it's not leaking. Everything looks like it is at least not leaking here, so we'll keep an eye on that for the next couple days, make sure we don't have any leaks. So there's actually a weight that hangs here, and that just helps to retract the hose when you use that detachable sprayer. And you can leave it right on, and it looks like you can touch anywhere on this part. Not this. This doesn't have the touch to it, so you can grab this. Sprayer seems to work pretty good. So what's the point of having the touch? The idea is that you've got dirty hands, you're coming in here, you're cooking, you've got maybe, you're working with meat or chicken or something like that. You don't want to be spreading bacteria and stuff all over the handle. So you can come up with dirty hands and touch that, wash your hands. You don't really have to get your dirty hands on anything, which is kind of nice. So this is actually, I don't know what the brand, if the brand is Water Drop or not, I can't remember. I bought this on Amazon, but this is a 3 filter little water purification system, and it works really great. It's not a reverse osmosis system or anything like that, but we use this. We have very minerally water here, even with our water softener and iron out salt and stuff like that. So this is in here. It'll tell you when the filters need to be replaced, and these can be replaced on the fly, so you just twist them out, buy replacements, and they twist their cartridges. They just slide right in there. So this thing has been really nice. It mounts right to that little spout on the up on the sink there, and we use that for all of our cooking and all that kind of stuff. So this is really nice to have stashed underneath the sink here. So this just gives us, and the flow rate is really good through those filters, so I like that.
No. What?
Yeah.
Don't you have to use a faucet though? What?
And one of the neatest things about this is it has a little light here too that tells you the water is hot or cold, or somewhere in between. So as you adjust the temperature of the water, it changes. Red for hot, purple or in the middle there is warm, and then blue is cold. So sometimes these little unexpected repairs actually work out better in the end. So we got a little upgrade on our faucet. One of the nice things about this faucet is that it is just a lot healthier. It's a lot cleaner. When you have a lot of people, in a home sharing the same faucet or whatever, this prevents kind of the spread of bacteria around the kitchen and germs and other things like that. You can use the back of your hand to activate it, which is just a lot better than using your dirty fingers and dirty hands when you're cooking and things like that. Especially if you're baking stuff, you get your hands and things, your hands are covered in whatever you're cooking with. Could be raw egg or raw hamburger or fish or anything like that. And instead of coming over and grabbing that handle to turn the faucet on all the time, and then you're just, you're not cleaning the handle off after yourself. So this way you can do it with the back of your hands, which is a lot cleaner. So it's a little bit healthier of a system too. So we definitely have liked it. Now we've had this installed. This has actually been a few months now since we've had this running, and I love this thing. There's only one thing that I don't like about it, and that now that I've had this for a while, I find myself trying to touch every other faucet in our house to make it work, and it doesn't work. So I guess we'll have to change all of them to touch. But hopefully you guys enjoyed just a quick repair video today, a little throwback. This repair actually happened a few months ago, and now we've had a chance to use this for a while, and we've been loving it. So don't forget to hit thumbs up on today's video. If this is your first time to the SSL Family Dad channel, of course, I'd love to have you tag along. We do lots of DIY projects and other fun things around here, so love to have you subscribe and follow along with the channel. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.